Well, here we are for the second to last video of the 2016-2017 season. We're going to go ahead and cover an away match against Palermo. Um, this is going to be a very interesting match because we've got a very tough slate of remaining games. We've got 5 games left. I'll cover Palermo and AC Milan at the end of the season. You might remember my last 0-2 defeat against Leicester. Very disappointing. I then went on to tilt my way to a 0-1 home loss against 20th place Crotone. I've lost twice to Crotone this year, as you can see up here. An away 0-1 loss and a home 0-1 loss, and I believe I outshot them about 20-1 in both games. This was an extra special angry match that I almost save scummed. I was so mad I saved and left and turned my computer off because my players could not, like, I had literally probably 10 open chances on goal and they just shot over, around, wherever they wanted to, nowhere near the net. Then we had our away leg against Leicester City. We immediately went down 1-0 in like the first 5 minutes, at which point it was 0-3 aggregate and pulling against 2 away goals. So I just fucking went for it, and we went into attacking overload, and you know what? It didn't end up that bad. It was a better game. We only lost 2-3. I forgot to mention we had another player sent off in this match, so the reffing continued to hurt us. Fortunately, we rebounded a little bit and really came out and showed probably, I'm going to go ahead and say, honestly, our best match of the season against Pescara here on the road. A 4-0 victory. Maybe against Empoli was another dominant victory, but we've literally only had, like, looking back up the list here, we've probably only had 2 truly dominant victories all season long. You know, going all the way back to the beginning of the season, that was a truly dominant victory from the get-go. We went up 2-0 in the first half, put another 2 on in the second half, and went from there. So now that we go to our competitions table, you can see our next few opponents are Palermo, Empoli, Sampdoria, Roma, and AC Milan. So everyone we're going to be playing is basically within the top half of the table from here on out. Now, amongst that group, we've also got 3 away games and 2 home games. 3 very difficult away games, Palermo, Roma, and AC Milan. Where we're sitting in the competition is currently 4th place. We've got a pretty comfortable lead above 6th and 7th place and 8th place that are all tied there. So I'm pretty confident that we can hold on to a 9-point lead with 5 games to go and hold on to a Euro spot, but we're still going to need to do some work here. You know, a top 3 finish is definitely not out of the question, especially since we play both Roma and AC Milan coming up. So if we're able to beat them, I think we've got a real good chance at finishing top 3. Basically, I think first place is out of our hands at this point. We're 11 points back from Juventus, so unless they completely implode, given the fact that we don't play them and AC Milan and Roma both play us, Juventus is looking very good right now to win the league. But I'm really looking to get up into one of those Champions League spots. The 3rd place spot is a play-in Champions League spot, but that's still good. 4th, 5th, and 6th. I think 6th might be a Euro, but maybe it's only 5th. Yeah, no, it's only 4th and 5th that are Europa League. Anyway, so we'll look to go ahead and get into one of those spots. So we're going to go to our match preview. So we've gone ahead and added another instruction. So this is my most attacking instruction that you guys are pretty familiar with. I went ahead and shifted my defensive instruction back to a 4-2-1-3 formation, something like that, with 2 defensive mids instead of 2 center mids. So it's a more defensive counterattacking structure. And then I went ahead and added this inverted triangle, 4-5-1 or 4-1-2-3, however you want to call it. It's still keeping an inside forward on the left, a winger on the right. I think I've got all 3 of them Some of them have that ram boiler, but I'm going to go ahead and just change that to a winger support. Yeah. I'll probably make him an attacker there. I need an extra attacker in that formation. Anyway, this is basically what we're going to be rolling with going forward. So all three formations have basically the same front three. I can trade out a target man for a complete forward up there, but all three of them have an inside forward, a winger, a target man, and an advanced playmaker and a deep lying playmaker. So they've all got that same structure, and then a ball-winning midfielder is the third midfielder. So they've got all that in common. It's this should be a ball-winning midfielder as well. Defend, support. Anyway, switching that around, I'm trying to keep all the tactics having the same roles so that I can have players that can fit those roles next year. So right now, like I said, I've only got one player that really fits this ball-winning midfielder defender mold, and that's Diawara. Nobody else really fits into that. Besic can play it, but you know, Besic's marking is good, his tackling's good, but he just doesn't really have that strength, you know, that kind of stuff to really fit into that role quite as well. He does have the aggression and determination to play there. So Besic is okay in that role, but he's also kind of more of a, I don't know, he can play a little more playmaker type role as well. So Besic is a good all-round defensive midfielder. So I guess I shouldn't say I only have one. I've got two players that fit that role. I just don't have another box-to-box midfielder, which is what I would love to make this. Instead of having a deep-lying playmaker, I would love to make that player a box-to-box midfielder. I'm going to go ahead and switch Homsick and Jorginho for this. I'm going to put the advanced playmaker on the side of the winger in support in this setup. And we're going to go ahead and play with this formation this time around. It's our first attempt at the Mr. Manager preferred 4-5-1 inverse triangle. I'm going to go ahead and change these both wingback roles to support. I might go attack here. No, I'm going to go ahead and leave that support. In future tactics, I might add a more attacking version of this where I put both my wingbacks in attack, because this center three is really my defensive stalwarts here, and then this is my attack plus both wingbacks. We're going to go ahead and submit the team. Luigi Sepe can't play today because he was involved earlier. It's alright, so we'll go ahead and go forward. So this is just going to be a standard tactic. So I'm going to make this my base tactic going forward into the next season, and hopefully I'll add the players that I need to really solidify it. I really need a true attacking wingback. It looks like we're playing against the same type of formation. So I'm going to go ahead and have Diawara man mark their best player. We're going to go ahead and go on to our opposition instructions here. 6 goals, 4 assists, 3 goals, 2 assists. So their best player is actually, their most dangerous looking player is Quaison. Probably. I don't know. That dude scored a lot of goals in very few games. 6 appearances, 3 goals, 4 assists. I don't feel like I have to man mark anybody this game. So I'm going to go ahead and apply my advice to the team. In general, I'll have the option of leaving Diawara open for man marking. Generally, I'll be playing kind of more of a zonal defense, but then have the option for one player to be man marking. We're going to go ahead and say we're on the road here. So we're going to go ahead and say we're going to be calm. And we're going to talk about revenge from Palermo. We're going to go ahead and do extended highlights and go ahead and start the match. So Napoli in blue, Palermo in pink. Palermo have kind of fun uniforms. I've played with them in a FIFA dynasty at some point. Pink is kind of unique color. Pretty fun. My fullback lost his marker there, but fortunately Hassaj was there to clear it off the back line. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and close him down because we've got the suggestion to do so. Right, long range shot, not worrying anybody there. Let's see what Napoli can do to build it up from the back here. Insigne knocks it on past his defender, cuts it inside, hits it to a defender who then starts Palermo on their attack. Looks like this is going to be a Palermo highlight. They just pretty much charge straight through our defense and give the ball to Trajkovski, who shoots it off target. Napoli have yet to have a shot. Palermo are really pouring on the pressure here. I'm kind of glad I went with the standard instead of more of an attacking tactic. Calhoun tried to wolf it forward there. Some more long-range shooting from Palermo, but they're getting some shots on target here. Catch up with Napoli breaking forward. Calhoun crosses it in. Milik can't get on the end of the header, but it's knocked in for Insigne, who can't quite get it on target, but that was some good-looking movement. We're going to go ahead and try to retain possession now. 20 minutes in, and we're not able to hold possession, which is kind of unusual for us. I'm going to go ahead and change our instructions here. We're also going to go to slightly shorter passing. And see what that does for us. Hopefully we'll start to grab a little bit of a better share of possession here. Palermo gets a corner. We knock it out. Hoof it up to Milik. See if Milik can start a counter. He hits Insigne. What can Insigne do? Knocks it to Hamsik, and Calhoun gets a shot on goal, but it is blocked by their keeper. Ooh, Albiol gets his head on it, but can't get it on target. Had our first couple chances of the game there. Nice to see a little bit of offense. This is an away game against a team that's in the top 10, so a draw is not terrible here, but we'd love to get a win because, you know, we need as many points as we can. Calhoun knocks it past his player. Hamsik is there to finish. A goal for Napoli. Hamsik finds the net. We're going to go ahead and keep our tactics where they are. That was a beautiful movement. Good job by Calhoun. I've been waiting for Calhoun to really push forward as a winger there. Look at him knock the ball past his opponent. Buys himself some space. Hits it in. Milkman does dick all to get on the end of that. But hey, that's Milkman for you. Although I shouldn't say that. Milkman scored 2 goals last game in that 4-0 victory over the Dolphin people. Pescara or whatever. Alright. Hopefully our formation here should be pretty defensive looking. I'm hoping we should be sound at the back. Got a corner here. Kaibuli to Jorginho. Jorginho gets a shot, but it caroms off the Palermo defender. Another corner. And that one is out off us. So, as you can see, we've pulled back some of it. We withstood their initial surge of an attack. We've pulled back some of our possession, and we've actually had more chances in the last 10 minutes than they have by a good amount. So the game's really changed in our favor in the last 10 minutes. We'll probably have to sub Jorginho off at halftime. Hamsik looking to see if he can get on a break here. Hits it up for Milkman. I accidentally hit pause there. I wish he'd have woofed it all the way across Insigne there. Now that we're going to get caught out on a counter here. Diawara tries to break up the attack but can't. They overlap to Morganella, who crosses it in. Albiol cuts it out. Hiljemark, Henrique, Jajalo, but they cannot get it on target. A little nerve-wracking there. We had a good counter, a potentially good counter, but Milkman is just a little too slow. Let's see what we can do here, boys. So we got Diawara with the yellow, which is a dangerous spot for the CDM, but I might sub on Besic for him at halftime. Diawara is probably more likely to get a second yellow, I suppose, than Jorginho. So this is going to be Palermo's highlight. They've kind of bumblefucked it forward here inelegantly. Diawara with a nice tackle there, but Palermo wins it back FIFA style, and fortunately they're offside because that one bounced into the net on us. All right. Things are going well, but you guys are capable of even better here. Let's go ahead and sub on Besic. And Peter Zielinski. Get both of our yellow cards out of the way. And we're going to go ahead and drop back to counter. And we're going to go ahead and go to mixed passing. And be more disciplined. Starting the second half here. Subbed off both my yellow cards. That should hopefully keep us out of red card trouble here. Taking on a little more defensive shape going into the counter-attacking mode. We get a deflection there. Oof, that was lucky. Palermo has increased their total shots and started pushing forward a little more here. They've had another half chance here just after halftime. Insigne with a free kick whips it into Zielinski. Zielinski to Milkman. Milkman must have been offsides there. "61 minutes. They got a throw in our half. This is dangerous looking. Well, they've won a corner off of it. We've generally been pretty sound at the back for the last month, so hopefully we can keep that up. Most of the goals that have been scored on us have been when we've been down a man due to a red card, so I'm trying to avoid that situation, but generally speaking, I've been pleased with the defense. So hopefully we can hold on to our one-goal victory, or one-goal lead here and bring it to a victory. I'm going to go ahead. Let's see how this highlight plays out. All right. With that highlight played out, I'm going to go ahead and give him a pep talk here. I'm going to be calm about it, but I'm going to tell him to tighten up on the defense. Everybody's playing pretty well, but they're getting a lot of shots on us now. I think I'm going to go ahead and switch the tactics off of retaining possession, and I'm going to try to clear the ball to the flanks maybe. Zielinski to Hamsik. Hamsik finds Callejon on the wing. Callejon crosses it into Hamsik, who cannot put it on target, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and adjust our... We're going to take off retained possession. We're going to be mixed in our passing. We are going to clear the ball to the flanks instead of playing out of our defense. And we're going to try and hit early crosses. This is basically going to be playing a little more direct now. I'm also going to look to sub somebody on here in the 70th minute or so. Long throw in from Gulam. Gulam to Callejon. Callejon, can you do anything with it? Nope. Haisage hits it back in. Uh-oh, now we've got Palermo with a counter. Man over on us. Haisage with a dangerous tackle in the box, but hey, Haisage did it. Now we've got a counter, but it's we've cut out of our replay there. Let's go ahead and see what we can do for a substitution to try and get a victory here. I'm going to go ahead and sub on Marco Rog for Marek Hamsik. Make sure... I think he should play well there. Yeah, he's good enough at that position. Marco Rog's a good young player I want to get a little more time to, so he's fresher than Hamsik, so he'll be running around a little bit. Palermo with a long shot, but that doesn't look too dangerous. Pepe Reina woofs it up to Milkman, who heads it down. We got a corner here for Palermo that looks very, very close to a goal. At this point, with 10 minutes left, I'm going to go defensive. We're going to get him in behind the ball. I think we're looking pretty good. Tactics-wise. Insigne with a free kick. He puts it on target. Goalkeeper knocks it off the woodwork. Now we're going to go ahead and go all the way to contain. And we're going to play even safer. Full park the bus mode now. They've woofed the ball forward. Zielinski brings it down. Rogue over to Callejon. Callejon try and sprint up the line. You're not going to have any help from the defense. Hit it back to Zielinski. Good job to Rogue. Up to Milkman. Milkman to Insigne. Insigne comes in. Gets fouled. Hopefully that might be his second yellow. Yep. Alright, that doesn't matter that much at this point. It's only the 90th minute, so I would prefer that we, instead of taking a shot here, just kick it short. But hey, Insigne almost put it on target, so good on him. 2 minutes left, 10 seconds left. I think we're pretty safe here. They might get one last chance on goal, but hopefully not. There we go. You know, I think that's a good 1-0 victory on an away game against a top 10 team. Very, very cagey game. Don't let yourself get complacent for next match, though, boys. Jose Callejon's a little stressed. I think everybody generally played pretty well this game. Amadou Diawara and Jorginho both had yellow cards, so that wasn't great. But other than that, the players that played all game played pretty well. Go ahead and go on to the post-match analysis here. Like I said, our player ratings are pretty good. Our defense, all 7+ back there. That's our normal, Raul Albiol, which I don't know if I mentioned in a previous video, but I went ahead and signed him to a new contract for 2 years because he's been such a stalwart, stout defender for us that I feel like he's got a couple years left. We might have to start subbing him out in that second year, but hopefully he's got 2 more years left. Played very well. Jose Callejon had a good game. Hamsik had a good game, obviously, with that goal. Yeah. Here's their summary. Milkman had 0 overall chances. I'm going to have to try another striker next game. Milkman is very, very hit or miss, and unfortunately, none of my other strikers have really shown a propensity for scoring at all, so Milkman's kind of it. Let's go ahead and look at the heat map here. Palermo had it pretty well in the center against me. We attacked up the right wing quite a bit, as you can see. This is Diawara's position, so adding that defensive ball-winning midfielder really shows up in our heat map here. We're definitely piddling the ball around in this inverted triangle, rather than before it'd be more of a triangle like this. Now it's more of a triangle like this between these three hot spots. And then this is Insigne overlapping in with Milkman here. And then Callejon out wider on the wing here. I like the way that heat map looks in general. Look at how much of the ball. Let's see here. We held a good bit of the ball in the midfield. Pretty good advantage over them. You can see our attack definitely on the right flank. Their attack definitely on their right flank as well. They had the ball in our final third a good bit more than we had the ball in their final third, but that's to be expected when they're chasing. So not too bad there. Let's go ahead and go over to our players. Let's take a look at our heat maps here. The average position. So Haisage, average position there. I'm just going to go ahead and click. Show you what our formation looks like overall. Let's go ahead and take off my substitutes. Vesic and Zielinski. So this is the formation with no subs on. It's pretty much how we drew it up. Now let's see what they look like with the ball. About the same. Nothing too surprising there. Zielinski gets a little further forward there. Besic pretty much played the same spot. And Rog got way further forward than Hamsik did. But he didn't play that long, so it's hard to really tell. And then let's take a look at their average position without the ball. It's very interesting to see player positioning to me. Because you set a formation before the game, but that's very idealized. So without the ball, we're very, very stout at the back. You can see we played pretty much all game in our half of the field, average position-wise. This is our defensive core here. 4 at the back, zonal marking across the front, average width. We're only covering box to box generally. We were letting wide players get wide if they got the ball generally. We're not chasing them too hard. And then we've got this inverted 3 with Diawara sitting straight in front of the defense and Besic doing even more, sitting straight in front of the defense. Kind of interesting. Go ahead and clear the events here and just do their heat map. Haisage. So you can see our wingbacks do get fairly far forward. Here's our 2 center backs. Other than set pieces, they're roaming around quite a bit. There's Diawara. He's a little bit all over the place. Hamsik stays very much centered in the middle of the pitch. Same thing with Jorginho. They're playmakers, so they're very much centered in the middle of the pitch. I'm interested to see Lorenzo Insigne. You can see him tucking in inside. Compare him to Callejon, who is way out here on the wing. So while I show the average positions, the heat map is a lot more illustrative of where they actually are. So Callejon is that wide player, stays out here a lot more. And I wish I should probably play, him and Haisage overlap so much in the same areas that it almost makes you either want to play Haisage staying back behind, so he's an outlet pass, or an inverted wing, so that he cuts inside, because I feel like I'm wasting some of their positioning over there. Whereas, for instance, if you compare Insigne versus Goulam, well, I guess they kind of do the same thing too. Never mind. They ended up in the same positions. I would like Goulam to stay wider out here and Insigne to cut in. That would be ideal, but I guess that's not the way it's going to go. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Getting a win against 9th place Palermo on the road is pretty solid. Hopefully we'll get a win against Empoli, who's 10th place next week. Our new formation is our least familiar, but we've added enough familiarity in it that we're still awkward with the passing style. We're generally pretty well familiar with everything else. This is our most familiar tactic, obviously. But I think with enough time with this, we're going to become very good at it and have some good off-season time to pull it together, I suppose. And hopefully add another CDM to the mix and some better attacking wingbacks as well. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed the video.